Hello, friends. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. You guys asked me to do a video about Florian Balagan. That guy that is absolutely flying for Reims. But do not forget he's on loan from Arsenal. And this season, he's one of the youngsters, one of the young, strong talents that everyone is talking about in Europe. He's actually developing very, very well. Arsenal could potentially get a huge amount of money if they decide to sell him. But if we don't decide to sell him, then this is where the interesting fact could be, because we're looking at a guy who's recording double figures in terms of scoring goals for a club like Reims in the French League. And at the moment, at Arsenal, there is no player that has scored more goals than him. It's only Bukayo Saka in the league who has scored 10. The rest of the other players at Arsenal have massively underscored as compared to Florian Balagan. The big question is, was it the right step for us to keep Edin Ketia and let Florian Balagan go to France and get that loan spell at Reims? In my opinion, yes. But look, if you know Florian Balagan, and you know this channel, and you know me, I'm a big fan of Florian Balagan. I've always said it, keep him. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what it's going to be. You've got to keep him. And Arsenal sending him out on loan, that was a genius move from Mikel Arteta. So where do we go from here? I'm going to be diving into his numbers. I'm going to be diving into what he's done, why he's better than Edin Ketia. Of course, very, very bad video to do at the moment because Edin Ketia is hitting a low. But why Arsenal maybe could be in a different position if he was playing for us instead of Edin Ketia. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast, and get involved in the conversation. Do Arsenal need to buy a striker, or we should just call back Florian Balagan at the end of the season, integrate him into the squad, let Edin Ketia go, or you can keep Edin Ketia around, doesn't really matter, because just signed that new contract. What would you do? Let's get into it. Now, at the end of last season, Florian Balagan left Arsenal in January for Middlesbrough. There he played 18 games in the championship, scored 3 goals and assisted 3 times. Mikel Arteta talked about that, and he said the player actually told him he was being played in positions he doesn't feel comfortable, and the system did not suit him at Middlesbrough. Actually, we all thought going to Middlesbrough, where you have that kind of in the championship where there is a lot of game time, of course, they play more than 30 games. It was going to be an opportunity for him, and it almost was an opportunity for him. But I think it was a little bit unfair for him to come from this side, go to the championship. He's already found a team that is already established. He was signed as a backup player. He was signed as an additional player to the squad. So it didn't actually work out very well. Mikel Arteta decided that he won't go back to the championship. He will, however, go to the French League. Something that people like me actually were not happy about. I thought he should have gone back to the championship. Actually, in my opinion, I wanted him to go to a club like Brighton, Southampton, those clubs in the Premier League that are struggling to find the back of the net, and that is where his development would actually develop the best. But that was not the right option. Mikel Arteta and Edu had other thoughts. They sent him to Reims in France, and what an impact. What an impact they've had on him. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Florian Balagan has made Reims what they are. Different. It's actually not that. It's definitely not that. I think Reims have made Florian Balagan the player he is. This season, he's played 23 appearances for them, 23 games, and scored 15 goals. Can you imagine? There is no Arsenal player in the league that has scored 11 goals. We have Florian Balagan flying for Reims in France, scoring for them 15 goals and 1 assist. That is 16 goal contributions in 23 appearances. Bear in mind, in his last game for Reims in the league, he missed a penalty. So if he had scored that would be 17 goal contributions in the last 23 games. All right. So that is absolutely brilliant. That is absolutely very, very key. Now, what do I think Arsenal should do? After such a very, very good loan spell, we've seen Mikel Arteta take another chance, right? Like with William Saliba, he had a very, very good loan spell with Saint-Etienne. came back at Arsenal, he sent him out again with Nice, and then came back, and then he sent him back again to Olympique Marseille. Those are 3 years of development. And when he came back at Arsenal, he's brilliant. He's absolutely flying. Best centre back, best right centre back in the Premier League. Maybe you could put the likes of Steven Botman in there, but William Saliba, what he's done for Arsenal is absolutely magnificent. So that's one of the options actually. Can we say he's done well at Reims, but let us send Florian Balagan again. Let us send him out on loan again. Let's maybe this time find for him a higher club. Like Reims is not that kind of big club. So this time we could find a club like Olympique Marseille, or we could find it like a club like Lille Metropole, or we could send him to a more technical league, a more tougher league than the French league are. That could be. Could that be the Italian Serie A? Look, I watch the Italian Serie A. I watch the Spanish Liga. I wouldn't want my striker to go to the La Liga. They pass the ball around a lot, and I just don't feel they are capable of producing very good strikers in La Liga. I'm sorry to say, I just don't want my striker to go on loan to La Liga clubs. But in Italy, I think that's where the jinx is. I think that's where the real potential of a player comes out. Hard defenses, hard football, ugly football. You're not going to get so many chances. So any chances you get, you bury them. We've seen the likes of Victor Osimhen flying in Italy. We've seen the likes of Tammy Abraham flying from in Italy as well. So if Tammy Abraham has gone there and he has done it, maybe we can test Florian Balagan with it as well. And the very good thing is that there are around 4 Italian clubs interested in signing the young 21-year-old from Arsenal. I think we can just do it as a loan deal. AC Milan, I don't think they would reject the idea of Arsenal giving them Florian Balagan on a loan deal. I mean, why would they? Why would you turn down such a glorious opportunity? You're having Origi and Giroud. Just take Florian Balagan on loan on a season-long loan deal, and it actually works out for you. But even if it's not AC Milan, I think clubs like Atalanta would be very good. Would be a very good destination for him on loan. And my personal favorite, I don't know whether he would go there. Get me right. I don't know whether he would go there. But if Napoli win the Scudetto after a very long time, they will lose key players, and one of the key players they will lose, I'm definitely sure, is Victor Osimhen. So if they lose Victor Osimhen, can they go give us Florian Balagan on a season-long loan deal, and then they could sign someone. Of course, when you lose Osimhen for that amount of money, you definitely have to sign someone in. But if we send him to Napoli with the way they're playing football, with how beautiful they are, how fluid they are, how creative they are, with the likes of Vicha Vercheria, Politano, and Ivan Lozano, and all those players, right? Could he become a Gonzalo Higuain? Could he become a real player for us? Because I'm looking at this boy's potential, and it is absolutely massive. So that is option 1. We could send him back on loan, but this time at a higher level. Option 2 is sell him. Yeah. And I know this would actually anger many people. Of course, many have already attacked me on Twitter. Because how do you say that? But look, I think it happens, right? Doesn't it? It really happens. You could have a player develop so well, but I don't think 60 million or 50 million in Florian Balagan is bad money. If Arsenal are going to get 50 million in Florian Balagan, we should take that money. No questions, no nothing. We should take that money. Right now, Edin Ketia is around 35 million. If anyone wanted to sign him, Florian Balagan could go for as high as 45. So for me, if anyone is willing to give us 50 million, which could be a little bit of a problem, right? And that's why this option is not so open and very plausible. But if anyone gives us 50 million, sell him and reinvest that money in the squad. Like, we want a central midfielder. We want to sign a defensive midfielder. 50 million quid, that would actually really take us, a step, like a big step. But then the third option for me, and which is the most likely one to happen, is integrate him into the starting 11. Now, I think there are a few Nketiah diehards. I don't think Eddie Nketiah is as good as Florian Balagan. We're going to compare the two players, and why I'm going to tell you why I think Florian Balagan is better and why he should stay and Eddie Nketiah should leave. Florian Balagan is a proper number 9, like real proper number 9. The beauty with Eddie Nketiah is he's got these attributes that Mikel Arteta loves, especially dropping from those high positions and picking up the ball into deeper areas. He's got that ability to turn. His pressurizing is relentless. He presses a lot, and those are some of the things that I think Florian Balagan doesn't have, but he can learn. Right? I'm not gonna lie. 23 appearances. I've not seen him and I've not watched him one single time this season at Reims. But I've looked at Eddie all my life from the Arsene Wenger era. I think Eddie Nketiah is good, has always been good with pressing, and that's why he forces a lot of mistakes. He forces defenders and many defenders into a lot of mistakes. Okay. But with Florian Balagan, you're having a clinical finisher. And this is where Eddie is going to either have to up his game or is going to lose his position to Florian Balagan. All the chances Balagan is getting, I think his XG is, after scoring 15, his XG might be around 19 or 20. And he has scored 15 goals with such an XG. He's one of those players that I don't remember missing sitters. Even when he was a young kid and was playing for Arsenal in the Europa League, he doesn't miss those sitters. He really doesn't. So you have, in him, we have a proper number 9. We have a guy that can develop into a striker who can score for us 20 goals a campaign. For Eddie Nketiah, no. I don't think. Actually, I'm very, very disappointed because I backed Eddie Nketiah to score more goals than Gabriel Jesus because I thought he would, right? Because he's that kind of guy. He finds the back, he has the ability to find the back of the net more than Gabriel Jesus. Why? Eddie Nketiah loves being in that goal scoring zone, and Gabriel Jesus drifts away. That is how both players play, and those are the differences they have. But with Florian Balagan, I've seen the highlights. I've seen the goals he's scoring. Absolute beautiful, absolute beauty, pure number 9 goals, right? If you're looking for a number 9, if you're looking for a real striker, this is the guy, right? If Arsenal don't want to go, we have spent 30 million on Ivan Toney. We have spent 40 million on Ivan Toney. Then you go and bring in Florian Balagan. Because, look, he doesn't have the physique. He doesn't have the power, the energy of Ivan Toney. That is not his game. His game is all about create that chance. I'm going to run onto it and I'm going to hit that ball with absolute precision. It's going to be in the back of the net. And that's why I fear for Eddie Nketiah. Because the goals this boy is scoring in France right now against big teams like PSG, Marseille, and all these other teams, those are the chances Eddie Nketiah is missing against Aston Villa, against Brentford, against Everton. It's not good enough. It's absolutely not good enough. So for me, those are the 3 attributes I like about him. Quality finisher. He's got the pace on his game, and he's got the ability to read the game very, very well. With Eddie Nketiah, it's the opposite, right? So what do we do? What do we do in the end? I would love to get your thoughts and opinions on Florian Balagan's situation. We sell him, we keep him, we loan him out again. In pecking order, I would say number 1, loan him back. Number 2, integrate him into the team. And number 3, if someone brings good money, and it should really be good money, if someone brings good money, do not hesitate, right? I would sell Florian Balagan for 40 million and sign Ivan Toney for 30 million, to be honest. I mean, in this world, it's crazy. Like, how do we get Ivan Toney for 30 and sell Florian Balagan for 40? But it can happen. Iwobi left Arsenal for 30 million, if you still remember. That is one of the sales we've made in our history. 30 million. Iwobi. So it can happen. So for me, those are the options available for Florian Balagan. I love him as a player. If he comes back, gets integrated into the side, I hope he doesn't disappoint. You know, players do disappoint, don't they? They come in, they have all this vibe around them, and everybody's excited to see them, and then they somehow disappoint. But I hope he comes in, he doesn't disappoint. And of course, yeah, if you have any videos you want me to do for you, this one was suggested by one of you in the comment section on a live stream. So if you have any videos you want me to do for you, don't be afraid, put them in the comment section, and I will definitely look at them, and I will definitely do share my thoughts, give my opinion around them, so that we are on the same page. I'll see you in the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe, have a blessed night. And of course, remember, we are on top of the league. We are still there. The title race, the title charge is still on. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.